back. God, Streamlabs just opens as so many different processes. How am I supposed to... Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rome. Let me know if the delay is still there. All fine now. Interesting. 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 Okay. Let me restart my phone and everything. Oh, no, yeah. I definitely appreciate you telling me. I would rather know, because, I mean, you know, people come in, I like to interact with them, and a lot of people like to be interacted with, so I don't like it for there to be that 15-20 seconds isn't huge, but compared to the, you know, very minimal delay we're having now, obviously a lot better with slobs. So that's interesting. Although I do think I figured out why slobs is like messing up. Like whenever I open a game and I've got Streamlabs, like I've got the stream already started, but then I change games, I usually have an issue with frames dropping, but yeah, I think I figured out why that is, and hopefully whenever I switch to another game later, I should be able to know what I'm doing. Okay. So we should have our wiring that we need now. Fantastic. Set it up, Scotty.
Captain, I'll need a little help positioning the clamps correctly while wiring them. Captain, push harder. I'll need these tighter to get more power.
I'm giving it all I got, Scotty.
Nice. Okay. I don't think we can put the lance here. Oh, we can. Okay.
One projectile ready to go, Captain.
We are hooked up here, Captain.
I think that's all we need to do. And I think we just have Mr. Scott shoot the lance, and we're gonna bust this door down.
Thank you, Captain. This'll be just like old times.
School must miss you dearly, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, get out of the way, Kirk. What are you doing? Standing right in front of it like an idiot. Oh, I was about to say, we don't actually get to see it? Come on. Yes. We did it. We destroyed stuff. Oh, yeah, we destroyed a lot of stuff.
We made a bit of a mess here, didn't we?
So let's grab this, whatever it is.
The gas canister is a bit beat up from the fall, but still functional.
The curator mentioned these were in each room.
We could open the door and spray it on the terrorists.
If it's fast enough to stop them from using their phasers, it'll stop us too.
And they'd get a warning if the door started to open. Time enough to put the hostages in jeopardy.
Alright, Mr. Scott, what's this?
I don't think McCoy would like this transporter, Captain.
Oh.
Even I would not want to use this one.
You not use a piece of equipment? Why not, Mr. Scott?
This little beastie put out a wee bit of energy discharge during transport. You've heard of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
Of
Oh,
course,
no.
Mr. Scott.
Well, this is the Mulligan certainty field, guaranteed to do bad things to you even Dr. McCoy cannot fix. You can block the radiation, but it's not something I'd want to play with unless I absolutely had to. You'd have to repair the wires anyway. And the power unit's been
We
pulled out
might
too.
absolutely have to, Scotty. A minute ago. We just had it. Ever use this worse one. Alright. So we know where the transporter is.
Security lockdown is in effect. Please
Let's see if this one works. Yeah, works for that door. Okay.
We can't have it do anything until we get it running.
Okay, so we gotta get this little robot running.
The access panel is stuck, Captain. I don't think any of us are strong enough to pull it free.
Any of us are strong enough to pull it free. Okay, I don't think we have anything there.
I don't understand what you want me to... They were not a bad...
I don't think we've seen the last.
Yeah, we already heard this conversation earlier. Let's have Scotty mess with this little crystal thing.
This is an odd beastie, Captain. I'm not even sure how they powered this thing. It'd take days to begin to understand it.
You, Scotty?
I'm only human, Captain.
Only human. Come on, Scotty. Come on, Scotty.
I wouldn't know where to start, Captain. This is a bit beyond me.
See if Chekhov can open this.
Captain, the panel is wedged in.
Can we go back and get the magnetic clamps? Oh, no, those look...
No effect. No effect.
We can get the capacitors, though.
Chekhov takes the
I'm not sure this will do much, but...
check.
It's an uncharged capacitor, so it probably won't work. I bet we were supposed to take one of them off before.
There's only a wee bit of juice in this capacitor.
Oh.
But I think it'll be enough to power up the robot. It's a tight squeeze, Captain. I don't think...
We could use the help, Mr. Scott. Not yet, Mr. Scott. We could use the... Not...
Yeah. Let's not do the robot yet. Okay. You just take it. This game is so inconsistent with like, oh,
It probably wouldn't hurt anything to take one
you need to
crystal.
press the
It's just a
use button
display
to
after
pick something up here, and then other times
This
it's,
one looks
oh,
good.
you need to press the take button to like it's just random when it wants you to use and take in this game. Rarely does it want you to use take, or that you have to use take.
No, I don't think that's necessary. No,
I think it is necessary. I think it's what you're supposed to do. I think this is where the wiring goes, regardless.
It wasn't easy, but the wiring's fixed, Captain.
It's never easy, is it, Mr. Scott?
Aye, Captain.
Maybe we need to use this robot. This robot will probably do something. Let's figure it out.
There's only a wee bit of juice in...
We could use the help.
Barney, open the pod
Barney.
bay door.
He's named it. Nice. Good job, Barney.
I should get Mr. Scott to look at this.
I knew it. They forgot to take out the fuel cell. That fusion reactor always scares people enough that they forget the backup cell. It's dry now. You'd need to wet this beauty down and get a catalyst in her.
Get her wet, so we have the... I guess we have this to get it wet.
Better than brandies? More than stums? Look out, fuel cell. Here she comes.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Okay, so not that. Aha, that's where we use the tray.
It's a good thing to build in so much flexibility. The silver isn't a bad catalyst and will act as a contact too.
Can we put the capacitor on there now and charge it? Yes.
All hooked up and charging, Captain.
Okay.
An old-style phaser cannon.
Yeah, I gotta wait for it to charge. This will always come back. What's this thing? We've examined this.
You know, Mr. Scott, this machine is not in bad condition.
Captain. Look, but don't touch.
You're right, Mr. Scott, but the only thing missing on this is the transmitter and some power.
You think Lieutenant Uhura would object if we swapped it for her?
Transmitter and some
Scotty,
power.
I never took you for having a death wish.
Okay, can we just use Scotty on it?
No change, Captain. She's still short.
Okay. Great, now I gotta wait for him to walk all the way back.
This reminds me of the time when I was a boy working on my first electronics project. I built one of those old crystal radios.
Crystal
With luck,
radio,
we'll
sure.
be able to get this transmitter working. It's been a while, but I think that will work.
Okay, but yeah, we still need the capacitor, I guess. Aha, it is charged.
Captain, we should unhook the capacitor before we go and take the train.
Well, I'm trying to grab the capacitor.
All ready to go, Captain.
Okay. So now we should be able to talk to them, I think.
All hooked in, Captain.
Good idea to
Save and
here.
replace.
Okay, let's see if it works now.
Gentlemen, we still need to come up with a transmitter.
Really? I thought that's what the crystal was for.
We've got the power we need, but it won't help without a transmitter.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Scotty did say something about unhooking the tray, which is like, I wouldn't think we would need that tray anymore. But since he mentioned something about unhooking it, yeah, I guess we can grab it.
You remove the silver tray.
Maybe it's the transmitter we need? I guess it's silver, so maybe yeah, it can be a decent catalyst? Not a catalyst, a conductor? Maybe?
I rigged up an isolated piece of frame in there as one conducting plate and the tray as the other. It's not the best solution, but it's the best I can do here.
Well, I appreciate you trying, Scotty. So we're gonna save again.
Save new game. Replace.
Because we're coming up on the negotiation with them. And I think there is a way to just transport in there and use the gas canister and take them out. But I think if we communicate with them...
Well, let's see how well this works.
And actually listen
Kirk
to their demands
Enterprise.
and stuff.
Kirk to
we
Enterprise.
should be able to...
Enterprise, come in.
Who is this?
This is Captain James T.
Diffuse
Kirk
this.
of the Starship Enterprise. Who are you? Whoever you are, call for help. There are terrorists in the museum. This is Captain Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. I'm in the Smithsonian Museum, where hostages are being held. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the Star... This is Captain...
How interesting. I'm in the Smithsonian Museum holding hostages.
Who am I talking
Smithson, but...
to? You should give up immediately. You have no chance. I'm holding a Corbomite device.
A Corbomite. Oh, that's a reference to the... It's an episode of Star Trek. I think it's called the Corbomite maneuver. And I think basically Kirk ends up... Yeah, Corbomite maneuver. Basically ends up, like, getting out of... Yeah, he has to bluff his way out. Like, the whole thing of, like, him getting the Enterprise out of harm's way is he's just like, I've got this thing called Corbomite, and it's really powerful, and it'll hurt you. And the alien's like, I don't believe you. And Kirk's like, yeah-huh. And the alien's like, nuh-uh. And Kirk's like, yeah-huh. And the alien's like, oh shit. And then just leaves.
Why don't you and I discuss
I don't think
this?
it works again this time, though. The only reason it worked is because it was an alien who like knew very little, or didn't know fully enough about like Starfleet and humans and Earth and stuff to like to call Kirk out, basically.
Who am I talking to? You should give up immediately. Why don't you and I discuss this? Who am I talking to?
My name is Lucas. I'm a member of the Lockean family, Onakan.
I've never heard of the Onakan family.
It's no surprise you haven't heard of us.
I thought he
even though
immediately
we're one of the
mispronounced
largest
it.
and oldest families on Lockean. Just shows how much the Federation believes the lies the Saransi pass along.
The Saransi are your enemies? I find it unlikely the Federation will take sides. Of course the Federation backs the Saransi. You don't see them taking hostages and setting traps for museum curators, do you? The Saransi are your enemies?
Our bitterest enemies for centuries. And you're backing them.
I find it unlikely the Federation will take sides. Of course the Federation backs the Saransi. You don't see them taking hostages and setting traps for museum curators, do you? I find it unlikely.
If the Federation isn't backing the Saransi, how do you explain a ceremony giving the Saransi the Quelke? Obviously, the Federation believes their lies.
The Kelki. You mean the probe?
It is more than just a probe to us. The Quelke discovered Lockean generations ago. The entire race owes its existence to the Quelke.
I knew it had great significance. I just didn't know there was anyone else involved. This is when the original planet was on the verge of being destroyed?
Wow, do I really not have the right game screen, or is it really not working right now? I didn't have the right game screen. None of y'all said anything. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? No, just messing. I should have realized.
I knew it had great significance. I just didn't. I thought the Saransi ruled your race. Shouldn't they be the ones that controlled the Kelki? I knew it had great significance. I just didn't know there was anyone else involved. This is when the original planet was on the verge of being destroyed? I knew it had great significance.
The Saransi presently have control of the communication facilities. They've been restricting access to make their positions seem more...
Claim on the Kelki. Are they illegally restricting communications or just not listening to a renegade group of terrorists? So you feel you have a legitimate claim on the Kelki? So you feel...
We have as much claim to that probe as anyone.
It sounds like you have a legitimate grievance. Does the Sarensi also have a right to the Kelki? Then why is the museum handing the Kelki over to the Sarensi? It sounds like you have a legitimate grievance.
So leave us alone. Let us finish what must be done.
You know we can't let you do that. This is your last warning. Release the hostages now or suffer the consequences. You know we can't let you do that.
And we can't let you stop us. This is something that has to be dealt with.
This is your last warning. Then this situation should be looked into more closely by the Federation. We're here with the best intentions. You want peace? We want peace.
Why did they put all those ellipses in there if he just said, you want peace? We want peace. I think that was Kirk just being like, I am not doing this. Because I think he's supposed to say, you want peace. We want peace. He's like, because like that's how Kirk talked a lot. Especially in the original series. Yeah, my webcam's off for a bit. I'm taking a couple hits. I like to do it off webcam, at least for now. But
this situation should be looked at.
Is that an offer?
That's a guarantee. Obviously, I'll have to check with my superiors on this, but I'm certain something can be worked out. That's a guarantee. Obviously, I'll.
Don't patronize me. You'd say anything just to stop us. Since you really.
Hello?
Oh, we got so close. Alright, gonna reload that. We're gonna try again. This time we'll go through much quicker since we just figured out what options we need to say.
Well, let's see how well this works. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
Who is this?
This is Captain James T. Who are you? This is Captain...
Well, Captain...
Who am I talking to?
My name is...
Whoever you are, call for help. There are terrorists in the museum. I've never heard of the on account. Whoever you are, I've never heard...
It's no surprise you haven't.
The Saransi are your enemies?
Our bitterest...
I find it unlikely the Federation will... Of course, I find it
If the Federation is...
The Kelki.
It is...
I knew it had great significance.
The Saransi...
So you feel you have a... It sounds like you have a legit...
Don't pat...
Hello? Hello? He seems to have cut communications.
Oh, well, that's interesting because I said like, when I said it sounds like you have a legitimate grievance last time, that conversation took a much different turn.
Well, it's Kirk.
Who is this?
This is Captain James T. Who are you? Whoever you are, call for... This is Captain Kirk of the Starship Enterprise.
How interesting.
Who am I talking to?
My name is...
I've never heard of the...
It's no surprise.
The Saransi are... I find it unlikely. Of course the Federation... The Saransi are...
Our bitterest enemy.
I find it unlikely that...
If the Federation...
The Kelki.
It is more than...
I knew it had great This is when the original planet... I thought the Saransi ruled your race. I knew it had great significance.
The Saransi presently have control of the communication...
So you feel you have a legitimate... Are they illegally restricting communication? So you feel you have a legitimate...
We have as much claim to that...
It sounds like you have a legitimate grievance. Does the Sarensi also have a right to the Kelki? Then why is the museum handing the Kelki over to the Sarensi? It sounds like you have a legitimate grievance.
So leave us alone. Let us finish what must be done.
You know we can't let you do that.
I just did that exactly the same way on the second load, and it was just like, don't patronize me. Maybe I just went through the conversation too quickly? There was something I didn't select that made him think I was just patronizing him.
This is your last warning. You know we can't let you do that.
And we can't let you stop us.
This is your last warning. Then this situation should be...
Is that an offer?
That's a guarantee.
Then we have a deal.
Awesome.
We will
I
turn
just
off
had to
the
guarantee
security
it.
override and give ourselves up. And trust the word of Captain Kirk.
Because instead of like being like the legitimate thing you should have said, which was, oh yeah, we're going to clear it with our superiors first, but you know.
Down to make sure the curator and guards are all right. Mr. Scott, lower the museum's shields and have a security team beamed aboard. Captain's log supplement.
We did it.
The terrorists had already turned off the security override. After putting the 3 Onicons in custody, it was decided that the probe would not be returned to the Soransi. Federation mediators will visit Lakian to assist in the negotiations on the fate of this artifact. The fact that they gave up voluntarily when they could have possibly escaped and injured no one certainly made points for the Onicon's claim. Curator Brezhnev was treated by Dr. McCoy and is in good health. Commendations are in order for Scott and Chekhov for meritorious service. Lieutenant Uhura, send a message to Admiral Richards. Tell him he owes me more than he thinks he does.
Aye, sir. I have a feeling he's not going to be surprised.
I'm afraid I'm going to remember this mission with a great deal of sadness, Captain.
Why is that, Mr. Scott?
It was such a fine cognac, Captain. It was just waiting for us, and now it's gone forever.
We brought the cognac with us.
You always remember the one that got away.
Sure, Scott.
Captain, message incoming from Starfleet.
I see they got our report. On the...
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain.
I don't know if we got it perfect.
And have a few comments. The top brass at Starfleet are impressed with the results
Yeah, it doesn't
of your
sound like a
recent
perfect
performance.
mission.
Outstanding work, Jim. Keep up the good work.
But pretty decent. Oh, three more missions to be able to open this.
Captain's log, stardate 6169.3.
Yep, 2.
While delivering supplies to outposts near Klingon and Romulan space, we received a distress signal from the Romulan neutral zone.
On screen, Captain.
This is Sub-Commander Guyon of the Warbird Infinitus.
Oh.
We are under attack.
Romulans
Assist
are
us,
asking for
please.
help.
Transmission jammed at the source, sir. The transmission originated on the Romulan side of the neutral zone.
Captain, this could be a setup. The Romulans might be trying to lure us into
They
a
might.
treaty violation.
We can't interfere in Romulan business. Take us to our next mission. Set course, warp factor 8. I'm not going to ignore a distress call, even if it is a Romulan. We can't interfere in Romulan business. Take us to our next mission.
So yeah, I think, yeah, from what it says, there are risks, but I think it's
Set
better
course,
to...
warp. We can't interfere in set course.
I think we got some space combat coming up.
Captain's log supplemental. In answer to a distress signal, we are crossing the Romulan neutral zone in violation of treaty. We are approaching the source of the distress signal.
We are now entering the Romulan neutral zone.
Captain, a Romulan warbird is approaching toward us on an intercept course.
Hail it, Uber.
I have an audio response only.
So, now it is the Federation that tries to stop me from winning my prize.
Romulan ship is approaching on an attack vector.
Raising shields. Arming weapons.
Got him.
That was easy.
Disarming weapons.
Captain, 4 Romulan warbirds are on an intercept course.
We're being hailed. The commander wishes visual
4?
contact.
On screen.
This is Commander Starius of the Invictus.
Commander, we were responding.
Explanations are unnecessary, Captain. We thank you for your humanitarian response to the Infinitus distress signal, and we recognize that you destroyed the rogue warbird in self-defense. We will overlook violations of treaty this time.
How kind of you.
Captain, we have discovered a mutual threat, a race of beings that seems determined to manipulate a wide variety of life forms that call themselves the Brassica. If you have encountered them, it may be in both of our interests to exchange information.
Spock, transmit all we know about the Brassica to the Romulans. I've heard the name, but we know next to nothing about them. I don't think we can help you. Brassica? I've never heard of them. Spock, I've heard the name, but we know next to nothing about them. I don't think we can help you.
Perhaps if you come across this information, we can share it. Please leave Romulan space as quickly as possible. The longer you stay, the more difficult it becomes to ignore this incident.
Understood, helmsman. Set course for Federation space. This day is not going well.
Captain, we have an emergency message from Starfleet. Code 1.
That's a planetary catastrophe.
On screen.
Captain, a very large alien ship is about to land on the planet Atibus in the Klingon neutral zone. The aliens stated that they intend to land in the midst of the capital city. Then the ship cut communications with us. Since then, all attempts to contact the alien craft have failed. You are the closest starship to Atibus. We want you to evaluate the situation and safeguard the colonists. We need you to make contact with the aliens.
Okay. So, Atibus.
Lowering shields, Captain.
Pull up our handy-dandy star map.
Ship in sensor range. I detect one Klingon battlecruiser on a parallel course.
The Klingon commander is hailing us.
On screen.
Figured.
Greetings, Enterprise. Welcome to Atibus. I am Captain Kla.
What are you doing here? And I am Captain Kirk. Greetings yourself. I take it that this is not your vessel. What are you doing? And I am Captain Kirk. Greetings yourself.
I appreciate your courtesy, Captain. I wish to inform you that we mean the colonists no harm. You have my word that I intend to take no action against them. As you know, this is neutral space. I have as much right to be here as you. If you do not question this right, I believe that we are capable of bridging any misunderstandings that might arise in this delicate situation. I have always admired the Federation's diplomatic abilities. I believe we both have more important matters on our minds. Until later, Captain.
Well, it never rains, but pours. Mr. Sulu, take us into a parallel course with the alien ship.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Bum, 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 bum. Oh. Cool ship.
No response from the alien ship, sir. Perhaps their communication system is malfunctioning? The Klingons regret that they are too busy to resume communications at this time.
Sensors appear to be experiencing malfunctions. Fascinating. Some anomalous readings are reoccurring. That would indicate that the ship itself is changing in unexpected ways. I have no explanation for the phenomenon. I have found at least one area that is suitable for transport.
Okay. Let's go and transport over.
We're beaming aboard the alien vessel. Have Dr. McCoy meet us in the transporter room.
Oh, Uhura's coming along. Let's go.
Lieutenant Uhura, if its communication system is malfunctioning, then we'll need you.
Yes, Captain.
Mr. Scott, you have the con.
Let's go, Uhura.
I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. What's going on here? Who's in charge?
Nobody's really in charge. Maybe the phase. That's one of the things that makes me so nervous. Nobody's really in charge. I try to take charge of little things like making sure the lights work. I don't like the dark. Are you gonna be in charge now? Maybe you should talk to the phase first.
The phase? Why don't you just tell me what's going on here? If you need help, the Federation has many resources. Would you tell me about this ship? Why are you going to land in a town on Atibus? Why didn't you respond to our hail? The phase? What's the phase?
We contemplate our phase. Some of our people think they're the ones who keep everything going. Sometimes they tell us things to do. They remind some people when to eat. Otherwise, they'd forget. I don't forget, but that's because I'm smart. If you want to, you can probably talk to the phase in the oratory. The builders built the oratory. The room there to the south, they built the garden north. If you're hungry or if your head ain't feeling right, there's food and such in the hall. Through there, the west door. The rest hall is through the east door, but you might have to wait for one of the beds. The builders were just so logical. They thought of everything.
They thought of everything.
You can go anywhere.
You know, Jim, I don't think there's much more you can tell us.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
His mental activity is very high, but doesn't seem pathologic, Jim. Respiratory activity indicates a high degree of anxiety by comparison with others of his race. Now, that much stress is unhealthy if this is a chronic state.
Ah, see, unhealthy anxiety in a chronic state. Scan the other dude.
Slightly undernourished, sluggish pulmonary and circulatory conditioning. Doesn't get nearly enough exercise, I'd say. Brainwave activity uneven. I'd need a battery of tests to be sure. This is a complete new race after all, but he may be suffering from some blood chemistry imbalances, likely to be affecting his mind.
Go away! I'm busy. My table must be kept clean.
I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Who are you?
Jakesy.
What can you tell me about this place, Jakesy? Can I play with the blocks, Jakesy? Can you smile for me, Jakesy? Is there something you want, Jakesy? What can you tell me about this place, Jakesy?
The sweet-faced adult shakes his head no.
I'm Captain James T. What can you tell me? Can I play with the block?
The sweet-faced...
Yeah, eventually we get the blocks from him.
What can you
I
tell me?
remember
Can
getting
you
the
smile
blocks.
for me?
The sweet-faced...
What can you tell me? Is there something you want,
The sweet-faced...
Says no. Okay, let's talk to this dude. Well, let's scan Jakesy first.
I believe this person has reached adulthood physically, Jim. But brain activity scans suggest he may have suffered a failure to mature intellectually. Remember, this is a new race, Captain. While these people are clearly humanoid,
Well,
I may not have all the answers.
give me something.
This individual is a bit
Okay.
elderly, but not in too bad shape when you take that into account. He seems to be suffering some brain lesions that might be genetically linked. Nerve degeneration in the lower back.
Methinks you peasants should know your place and speak only when royalty speaks first to you. Methinks you peasants...
Okay, so he doesn't want to talk to us. That's the garden.
Various plants grown in a combination workspace and computer console, Captain, with robotic leads on the visible hookups. The data terminal appears to serve as data storage and analysis of materials put on the countertop. In short, I believe it acts as a gardener's assistant to anyone working on the plants in this room. I do detect some evidence of malfunction in one of the hookups.
Are you saying it's broken?
Only a small part seems to be broken. Something involving one of the feed lines.
The ceiling looks it.
Nothing to read.
There is no response at all. Not even a flicker of attention crosses the person's eyes.
Captain, we have just been thoroughly and efficiently scanned.
Please identify yourself. You haven't been in to see me before, have you?
I'm Captain James T. Kirk, commanding the USS Enterprise. These others are my crew. Science Officer Spock, Lieutenant Uhura, and Dr. McCoy. Who are you?
We are the Fays. Did not your parents speak of me?
Captain, note that it identifies itself only erratically, in the singular I, and a blend of voices typifies its communication.
Are you suggesting it is a hive mind, Mr. Spock? Or is the voice synthesizer simply programmed for a harmonic chord of voices?
Inconclusive. It may also be that an array of otherwise independent machines have been linked to provide the requisite computing power. Although that is an antique and unsophisticated method of achieving this level of intelligence, at odds with the overall level of sophistication and evidence. I suggest we pay close attention to both its actions and its words.
Fays, why would our parents have spoken to you?
I am here to care for all of you, Kirk. It is easier for me to care for you when you are younger, but sometimes one's parents are forgetful. We understand.
They
I
understand.
will care for you now. You will feel better after you eat.
Great. A food-fixating, mothering computer. It could, in fact, be very much that.
Phase, you're about to land on a planet inhabited by sentience in the middle of a settlement. If you are in control of this vessel, you must stop. You must not land there.
You will feel better after you eat, dear. Run along now, I'm very busy.
And where's our food? There you go. I was just about
The
to say.
tricorder informs me that the Klingon boarding crew has just beamed into the adjacent room, Captain.
You are Kirk. I am Kla, captain of the Paul-Ya. This is my aide.
These Klingons are so innovative in their introductions.
Shh. I'm Captain James T. Kirk, commanding the USS Enterprise. These are my crew, Science Officer Spock, Lieutenant Uhura, and Dr. McCoy. What can I do for you, Captain Clark?
You can avoid interfering with me or my man as we look around the ship, the same as you. And with the same air of mutual goodwill, we will avoid interfering with your activities. Unless we have cause to think your actions in some way threaten us or the empire we represent.
We do not threaten the Klingon Empire, Captain Clark, nor its legitimate representatives.
Then there will be no difficulties between us, will there? We will leave you to your investigations now and carry on our own. You won't mind if we're in the room, will you?
We'd consider it a mark of our mutual respect, Captain, if you don't get in our way, and we won't get in yours.
She's cataleptic, Jim. Completely submerged within her mind. Completely withdrawn from external stimuli. If I were to put her arm up in the air, it would stay there until I moved it back down.
Psychological damage or something physical?
I can't be sure, even with rather extensive tests. But from the tricorder readings, I would say some psychological shock ruptured an inherently fragile cognitive structure. In ancient times, they would have said she was skittish or prone to a nervous breakdown or weak-minded. There are a myriad of childhood developmental blind alleys that might restrict her adult pattern creation representation
Bone, stop. You're starting to sound like Spock.
You do not have to be insulted.
Wow, he just like slurred at the very end of that. Didn't get very far with that, did he?
This individual is a juvenile in good condition, although mildly undernourished. There's no immediate danger, but there's some traits that should be watched. He's healthy now, both mentally and physically, but he's at some risk if he's put under too much stress.
Wow, yeah, they just really just simplified a lot of his lines there. I don't know, maybe his health was so bad that he just had trouble with it. Who knows?
You get no response.
Hi there, I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Who are you?
I'm Stan Bob.
Stan
Did my mom say I could talk to you?
Why, yes, she did. What can you tell us about things going on here? No, not exactly. We'd like to know what you can tell us about things going on here, though. I don't know that we've seen your mother. Still, if you can tell us something about what's going on here, we would appreciate knowing it. Why, yes, she did.
I don't think my mom would want me to talk to you.
Oh, my God.
Please go away and stop bothering me.
Of course.
Get back! I don't recognize you, you strangers! Rekabak, Gormagon, you recognize these people?
No, Tusken, we sure don't.
Keep them away. Keep them away from me. They'll hurt us. They're out to get us, I tell you. Have I ever been wrong?
No, Tusken, you kept us safe, and we keep you safe. We won't let him get you.
You people don't want to come any closer. Honest, I don't want to have to hurt any of you. It's just that Tusken won't like it.
Protect me.
They're after me. We'll hurt ya.
We really don't want to
We'll
hurt
hurt ya.
you, you know, but you gotta stay back.
See here, Captain Claw. I told you those Federation scum would be nosing around behind our backs.
The Klingon observers seem interested in remaining to watch what goes on here.
Oh no, we can't phaser them.
I listened to my brother Rackerback and to my friend Tuscan. They say we have to protect this room and keep anyone from getting into it. Tuscan's afraid.
Watch what you say, Gormagon. You know I trust you.
He's just afraid, that's all.
I'm more interested in a good fight than in talking.
We might need to nerve pinch these guys.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
If you want the bear, you'll have to beat me at this game of chess.
Oh. Okay.
A complex situation. However, check and mate.
How'd you do that?
He cheated you, brother. He must have cheated you.
No, that's a legal move. Here, take the bear. I promised, and I do what I say.
I think it's a dumb game. That's what...
Well, no one cares what you think. What a jerk.
I think it's a dumb game.
Yeah, I already heard you once.
Like so many others aboard this ship, he's the victim of developmental genetic damage. A chromosomal misalignment induces a greater inclination to violence. I wouldn't feel confident enough to treat him medically without the full database of the Enterprise systems. Gormagon is one of the healthier individuals on this ship. Except
McCoy
for
definitely takes a
emotional
smaller
stress,
role in this
probably
game
the
than he does in
result
the
of being
25th
bullied by
anniversary
his
game.
buddies here. He's reasonably sound in mind and body. If I had to, I'd feel confident about treating him medically.
Keep away from me. I don't need that.
Captain, I don't think...
Oh, okay. We could treat him, though, is what he said.
I don't care who you say you are. You're evil monsters in disguise. You want to get by me and the only people I can trust. You want to get into the back of my brain. You want to rewire me and change the way I think. Go away. Go away. Go away. Or we'll hurt you.
Okay. You go away. We need the blocks, though. Can't quite remember.
Welcome back.
Shut up here.
Soft. Nice. You get blocks now?
He gathers together the blocks and gives them out to you.
Even though we can clearly still see the blocks in this game.
The blocks are an unusual organic substance high in compounds of phosphorus, nitrogen, ammonia, and calcium.
Okay, just a non-toxic toy. Apparently, we're supposed to use Uhura on the king, and that's supposed to be like a royalty thing? I don't know.
No, beautiful one. You may not sit with me.
We're just supposed to know, oh yeah, Uhura's the hot one, so I guess we have to present her first to speak with her.
You stand out remarkably, bearing yourself like a queen.
Kind of sexist.
Yet these Carls do not treat you as royalty. Surely you have royal blood flowing in your veins?
Bloodlines do not dictate who we listen to. We weigh a person's worth by their actions. My leader here is Captain Kirk, an admirable man. Speak with him. My ancestors ruled in the lands of Kush and Timbuktu. We may speak as peers, you and I. Royalty recognizes royalty, does it not?
Mm-hmm.
Look on me and decide for yourself. You will know. Bloodline royal, my ancestors.
Oh, I am so glad to find
Well, we
another
can
of
pretend she's a
royal
queen,
blood.
though. I guess that's
So
okay.
tired of
It's not
sitting
that.
here
I
all
guess
the
it's not
time,
really
but whenever I
sexist.
leave, thralls and lesser folk plant their fundaments
Although
on
I
the
don't
great
know, it's
throne,
not
and
very
that's just
clear.
not acceptable. I know you'll mind the proprieties and not let anyone else sit on the throne. And now, I'll finally be able to go
Yeah,
and
I
get
guess it doesn't
some
really seem to be
rest.
because she's hot. It's just because he thinks she's royalty for some reason. But I don't know why. Maybe that's because she's hot.
What an uncomfortable chair.
Scan it first.
A simple construction of various metals and plastics, 1/2 meter wide at the base. Arms have been added post-construction.
Okay. Do we need to...
It's not a very comfortable chair.
Watch out, Lieutenant. Remember, uneasy line.
I don't think Shakespeare had in mind a madman with delusions of grandeur, Doctor. Particularly since he was writing of his own Queen Elizabeth's ancestor, Henry IV.
Okay, then... Oh, you Spock on it? Okay, I don't know how that was supposed to be.
Not very interesting, Captain. Except that...
Oh, no. Okay, then what was the point of...
The light grid is not open.
Okay, so the light switch. Okay. Ah. That's why we needed the king out of the chair.
You managed to untwist a length of wire and a light bar.
Cool.
I wonder if that's supposed to be a cape.
I don't see how these can help.
Somewhere I haven't been yet. Aha! Here we go.
We are just here to look around, Captain.
Would it matter?
Your doctor's discourtesy, though indirect, does no credit to your party, Captain Kirk. I would have expected better when we have done nothing to warrant rudeness.
We need not interfere with one another's activities, I think. Hi there, I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Who are you? Are you feeling all right, ma'am? Can you tell me what the problem is? You look so sad. Would it help to tell us why you look so down? Hi there, I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Who are you?
I'm called Ma. My son is Stan Bob, and I failed him. I feel so badly. I'm a terrible mother.
The woman's eyes brim with tears, and she can't continue the conversation.
Okay, well,
hi there, I'm Captain J. Are you feeling all right, ma'am?
I'm a bad mother. I tried to do right.
Who died? What died? I'd like to help if I can.
I did it. I'm a bad person. Killed all the plants, and now they don't produce anymore. I'm not worthy to have a good son like him.
A mother's job can be difficult. I'm sure you did your best for your son. Would you care to tell me about it? Why do you think you were the one who killed the plants? Have you even looked in on them recently? What if someone showed you that you were wrong? A mother's job can be difficult. A mother's...
Little Stan Bob. I try to feed him right. Give him safe food. He really likes fresh fruit. Now he can't have it anymore, and it's all my fault.
Ma'am, hold on to this idea. It may not be your fault at all. We'll try to help. You have my word. Your son still loves you just for trying. Of that I'm certain. He wouldn't want you to be so sad. Ma'am, hold on to this idea.
The woman's eyes brim with...
Hi there, are you feeling all right? You look so sad.
Do you have any children, sir? I do. A son.
A mother's job can be difficult. I'm sure you did what died. A mother's job can be difficult. I'm sure you did your best for your son.
Little stand by.
Ma'am, hold on to this. Your son still loves... Ma'am, your...
The woman's...
Captain, there's got to be a better way to handle... The machine whirs, lights blink, and a pre-packaged container of food is deposited on the tray.
Some food.
The box of prepared food is light and compact.
Scan it.
A reprocessed cellulose-based container with prepared nutritional components inside, appropriate as a meal for one individual. In addition, the food appears to be laced with a variety of drugs, which Dr. McCoy could better analyze than I.
As a meal, the food in this little box is a tad high in carbohydrates by human nutritional standards. Still, it would supply about 1/4 to 1/3 of a day's average caloric needs and includes protein, fats, fiber, a bit of spices and flavorings. There are also drugs in the food.
Interesting.
Hi there, I'm Captain. Are you feeling... You look so... Hi there, I'm Captain.
I'm called Ma.
The woman...
Chlorophyll-based plant species. Minor evidence of opportunity.
Being born on Earth in an agricultural district has prepared you to recognize when certain plants are not thriving. That definitely describes these plants. Not thriving. The stems are shrunken, the leaves yellowish, and many have fallen off. The plant clearly tried to set some kind of fruit, but the little blackish green bulb...
There is nothing on the work console. Proceed with your work.
That's a terrifying voice.
The feeder hose comes free and a mechanism pulls it out of the way. But a terrible stench rises out of the container, smelling like many things died in there long ago. Being born on Earth in an agricultural...
This 40-liter capacity metal keg is constructed of steel with non-reactive alloy lining. The round oak...
Did you put the tag on the thing?
The nutrient broth in this container has become contaminated. It should be disinfected before the container can be reused.
Disinfected. Phaser do it?
That is not logical, Captain. The stun setting will not sterilize the container.
Well, there we go. Got a kill setting, I guess.
The container heats up rapidly and foul-smelling smoke pours out of the small opening on the top.
This container must be refilled with nutrient broth before it is replaced for use.
roll out on wired mechanisms and insert into the container. From one flows a clear liquid nearly filling the container. The other hose just makes burping noises.
Me.
You take the metal keg.
I know we
Inert
scanned
organics,
these earlier.
including phosphorus, nitrogen, ammonia, and calcium compounds. In this form, impractical to use as fertilizing nutrients.
Not that they would be. So I need to heat them up as well, maybe?
Stop for a moment. I think there must be some better method to this.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's put the keg down again. Blocks in there, and then shoot it.
The blocks fit through the opening, splashing as they plunge into the liquid.
The ceiling looks in.
No, not the ceiling, Kirk.
The container heats up slowly and the sound of bubbling echoes from inside. You stop and the container quickly cools.
I think that did it, Captain.
Thanks, Ubera.
This container of nutrient broth is ready for use.
Awesome.
You take...
Now we put it back.
You settle the container back into the niche it was removed from. The feeder hose, looking shiny and clean, rides out on some mechanism and reattaches to the newly filled container. You hear gurgling and see the nutrient broth begin swirling through the liquid medium.
Oh wow, that's
The
quick.
dying plants seem to perk up before your very eyes.
So...
The species still seems a bit strange, but you expect that. Nevertheless, even as a youngster back in Iowa, you knew when a plant...
Okay, cool. So now I leave and go tell her, I guess, maybe? Like, hey, we fixed your plants.
Hi there, I'm Captain J. Are you feeling all right? You look so sad. Are you feeling all right?
I'm a bad...
Who died?
A mother's job can be difficult. I'm sure you... Why do you think you were the one who killed the plants? A mother's job can be difficult. Why do you...
I'm eating what the phase makes for me, so I'm just resting. I'm tired, and I really don't feel like doing anything. I'd be so...
The woman's eyes...
But I didn't. Do I have to bring her, like, the actual fruit or something? Stop following me around.
Jim, we don't have time for that now. Jim, we don't have time for that now.
The species still seems a bit...
But then, how do we... How am I supposed to know to just use Spock on her?
I think this female would be more likely to benefit by Dr. McCoy's attentions, or perhaps Lieutenant Uhura's.
But it says to use Spock. Oh, no. Okay, use fruit. How do I get the fruit? Take fruit. What? I just have to wait for it to grow? Yep. Literally just like have to wait for it to grow. Coming out enough times, I guess.
The red fruit comes free easily.
Alright, let's go back and show her this fruit.
You got the plants to give fruit again.
I did.
And I'd given up. Oh, I'm so happy. But I don't want to eat this. My son loves fruit. Can't get enough. And I want him to have this. Please take it to him. He should be playing in the sleeping hall. I've warned him about not talking to strangers, but it's all right if you do so.
Now
you can tell him I
Mom's
said it was
permission.
okay.
To the sleeping hall. This way. Oh, now Jakesy's got the bear. Oh, King's sleeping there. Okay.
You get no...
Hi there, remember?
Uh-huh. I remember.
Tell me about Tuscan and his friends. Tell me about the playroom. Tell me about your mom. I think that's all for now, Stan Bob. Go on, tell me about...
Tuscan and his friends aren't nice to me. They're nice to my mom because they trust her, though. She's the only one that brings them food. Sometimes she brings me safe food, too, but she hasn't lately. I get pretty hungry because the safe food I put away in a secret place isn't any good anymore.
Tell me about Tuscan and his friends. Tell me about the playroom.
It's through there, through the east door. Tuscan and his friends have taken it over. They play mean, except they don't play mean to my mom. That's on account of they think she won't let the food be bad.
Tell me about Tell me about your mom.
Her name's Moll. She takes care of the garden, but she gets real sad a lot. She brings me fresh fruit, says it's good for me. I like fresh fruit, whole bunches.
Whole bunches?
She hasn't brought me any in a while, and what I...
Tell me about Tuscan. I think that's all for now. Tell me about the food.
The food out of the machines can make me feel really sleepy and not very good. Mom says it's because of the stuff they put in the food. Tuscan says it's poison and won't take any food from anyone but my mom. I put some good food away in a secret place, but the food doesn't look so good anymore. Do you want to see?
Sure, why don't you... No, I don't... I think that's all for now.
No, I don't
sure,
think
why don't you show us?
The youngster opens a hidden cabinet near him, and a sour smell like rotting fruit flows from the opening.
See, it went bad.
Okay, we'll take that.
It's slippery, sloppy, stinky, and goopy.
Nice.
But you collect what's there into a...
This is for me? Wow, thank you. Mom would really be happy. She has been so sad about not being able to give me what I like to eat. Even though I told her it was okay, she was really, really sad. Now she'll be really happy. Thank you.
So yeah, because this woman up here is like, her mind's pretty much, or not mind's not, but like, doesn't really seem to be responding physically. Maybe Spock can mind meld with her.
Are you suggesting I attempt a Vulcan mind meld, Captain?
It does seem an appropriate effort in this circumstance.
It will take me a moment to prepare myself. Doctor, please monitor her life signs. The procedure does entail some risk.
Not only to her, but to you too. Am I right?
I assure you, Doctor, I will retain sufficient distance to avoid being dragged into something from which I cannot withdraw.
Go ahead now, Spock.
Good to know.
I am Puzzlewit. I am the one who reads it all. I do not understand. I try. I read it all. So many ideas. Always jumbled, though. Cannot make sense of. Puzzlewit wants to know.
And then you're gonna wait for
hope to discover why she why I cannot.
The Strade can be
try to remember it all. Then Tusken comes in. He destroys me. My hopes. All broken. All shattered. Ow.
Doctor?
No physical injuries, Captain. Not to him or to her.
Tusken's scared of me. Scared. For no reason. He thinks I know. I know, but I don't know. I don't understand. Nothing connects to anything else. I want to know it all.
What's going on here, Kirk?
We are trying to help this woman, Captain Clark. Be quiet, or you'll put her and my science officer both at considerable risk.
He's trying to make a mental slave of the alien, Captain.
Yep, that's what he's trying to do.
She could tell him the secrets of this ship, of its transit through the Klingon Empire. Stop him!
We'll listen in a moment. I wouldn't have a representative of the Federation damaged or rendering assistance.
Puzzlewit remembers everything she reads. Subject. Screen laminates. Reflective. Subject to autotrophic bonding with molybdenized nitrous oxides in the presence of cyanodephosphortrihydrous gases. Subject.
Does Puzzlewit remember this ship passing through Klingon space, perhaps?
All the paralenses were copied prior to liftoff. No new encryption was permitted. We could only read.
That stellar ejector, Captain. Why would a computer terminal permit read-only interface, I ask you?
The builders didn't trust us. Didn't think we would be capable. We were damaged. Now, the reader is damaged. It's broken like Puzzlewit. Like us all. Like Tusken.
Like Tusken.
The paralens can't be replaced. The reader can't be fixed. Puzzlewit can't be fixed. Nothing to read now. Nothing new.
This whole thing is stupid, if you ask me.
Oh, well.
Anything but stupid, in fact. Captain Kirk, the library this woman read has been recorded entirely in her mind, although she lacks the ability to understand it or even to recall it in an orderly manner. She believed if she could fill up her mind, acquire enough knowledge, understanding would come. Now her personality is withdrawing, refusing to accept the loss of everything she has not yet been able to read.
Do you know everything she knows now?
No, Captain Clark, I do not. This race has very unusual mind patterns, and I am fortunate she was in as passive a state as she is mentally. It is very likely I would have been hurt were she less withdrawn to begin with. Moreover, the knowledge she does possess is a very peculiar admixture, reflecting this society's uneven level of advancement. Archaisms and startling breakthroughs coexist.
So there is much to be learned from this woman, and from this ship.
Knowledge the Federation would gladly share with friends, Captain Clark.
Of course.
Let nothing happen to this alien woman, Captain. If she should die, I I would take it as an indication that you would sooner let her perish than share her special knowledge with the Klingon Empire.
Captain Clark, if I took her aboard the Enterprise, I might be able to help her.
I would have expected such treachery from the likes of you. You'll start an interstellar incident like this.
I thought some of the folks on board this ship were paranoids.
Gentlemen, Captain Clark, we don't want this woman to die any more than you do. Not because we want to milk her brain dry, but because she's an important being in her own right. Just as important to the universe as, well, as your companion here. Maybe more so. Dr. McCoy will do what he can.
That's all I would expect. Goodbye for now, Captain.
See you.
Welcome back. Are you feeling better?
We're not talking to you, ship. We're supposed to be making drugged food to give Tuscan so we can get in his room and stuff.
Replace previous.
We're gonna save it, and I'm actually probably gonna switch over to MGS2. I'm learning the normal and easy routes, and we're gonna switch over to me doing that. So what that means is no timing with like splits or anything. Just gonna be taking it pretty slow, watching some cutscenes. Probably won't make it through the whole rest of the run. I'm thinking I'll get maybe through bomb disposal and maybe through fortune. I should get farther in my notes than that, but as far as the playthrough are on, that's as far as I think. Okay.
Yes, quit the game.
So, I'm going to take a BRB and hopefully I'll be able to not restart the stream and still have the game going. So we'll see though. Be right back.